Collie Training Journal, Day 60.
The unedited version of stationary Carenza. Today, I put all those skills together that I've been working for and through over the last few days, combining each of the combination drills with the energies that I learned a few days ago. This is always one of my favorite drills, combining everything because it helps me be able to see how much I've grown, how much I've improved, and it also identifies areas of weak points, which is actually a really good thing. When you can develop a skill or an understanding of a skill well enough to be able to identify your weaknesses and strengths, you're really starting to make some progress. When you can identify those skills and then act on them by isolating the movement or isolating the part of the skill that you need to work on or improve, this really helps you to be able to hone in on the skill and make it even better. I think this is part of why I love this part of this training so much, and specifically in the Carenza. I really appreciate learning and understanding the details, making it look smooth, clean, and clear. Today's practice was used with a bolo. So if I'm using the bolo correctly, you really shouldn't see it. So if you're wondering where my blade is and what the movement looks like, this is part of why, is because it means that I'm using the blade edge presentation and only the blade of the weapon is visible to you. As I move through the Carenza, I'm also keeping in mind the 12 striking mechanics. The 12 striking mechanics are so important when you're using and working the Carenza drill to make sure that your application is still proper and correct. One of the other things I'm really trying to remember is the follow-through and the 90-degree principle. Those are ones that I tend to get a little bit more lazy on when I'm doing these types of drill. The full range of motion is also one of them that I don't always incorporate, and some of my strikes get a little bit lazy. So the Carenza really helps me to be able to identify where those weaknesses are, especially when I go back and watch the video. This really, really helps me to grow and improve based on the information that I already have about each of the different movements. If you can really strengthen your basic skills in any area, you'll really be able to excel and fall back on those when you need to use them. And that's the idea of the Carenza, is am I using my skills properly to defend myself against an opponent? Over the next 2 days, I'll continue to work on the Carenza and incorporate some movement into this as well. About partway through the practice, I also realized that it's important to stay organized in my mind with what's coming next so I can remember all the different skills that I have. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.